Posted by you, throwaway BCER, wife, 39F. Seems to find every reason to take offense to my 49M actions. Sorta long. Been having some serious family strife and could use some feedback. We have a wonderful, if precocious, 4-yo daughter, and a 1-yo son who's just into the walking stage. Married 11 years. I need to know if I'm off base here and need to re-evaluate myself, or if there's a more serious issue that I can't see because I'm too close to it. She might need medical help for depression. I don't know. Wife's in-laws, Asian, invited themselves into our house for 4 months, at our considerable expense for airline tickets and such. They are great with the kids but range from mildly to totally inflexible on everything else around the house. My wife did spend 4 months with them in Asia with the kids during COVID so they could all have a chance to see the family, but then they invited themselves back with her, and I see her backsliding into a culture that I'd argue has poor manners and attitudes in a way she never used to. She wasn't always like this. My wife has been off work for a year on maternity leave following the birth of our son, but now sits inside the house, doesn't want to go out and do anything at all unless someone pushes fairly hard. Just tells me what a great time she had during her Asia trip when her brother and his wife took care of the kids all the time so she could go out. She doesn't get out to see friends here despite them reaching out to her, and only occasionally goes for walks, etc. Every time we have an argument, which is almost daily now, her complaint is that I'm not respecting her opinion. I think she may have her parents and I confused. Our daughter's birthday is coming up in a month, so I spent all morning facilitating banking and errands for her and her family, then headed off in the afternoon and spent 4 hours today making very fancy birthday invites, battling Photoshop, Illustrator and a finicky printer that was eating paper like crazy. Finally got it done and they turned out pretty nicely if I do say so myself. Rushed out of the office with the invites hot off the press and made it to daycare with 10 minutes to spare to pick up my girl. Saw 2 other families we're planning on inviting at daycare and gave them each a card because I don't have their contact info and the party is just over a month away, and we don't see them all the time due to shifting daycare schedules. Got home and told her I had given them out and literally the first words out of her mouth were, "I wanted to see them first." Now, I did send video of them to her prior to leaving and she texted me back, "Looks good." Now apparently, they're not good enough? The only change after my video was adding a QR code to the e-vite. She didn't even bother looking at them when I got home. My wife does obsess about birthday parties and such and has had major meltdowns about them in the past if they go sideways due to illnesses and such. I try and be supportive, but at the end of the day, if our kid is happy, job done even if it doesn't match parental expectations. I'm getting really frustrated. I do all of the laundry and dishes in the place, drop the kids off at daycare daily, pick them up daily. I usually make breakfast with my daughter daily while mom feeds the baby. In-law mom is doing all of the lunch, dinner cooking, as well as meals for the kids at school, so the only real responsibility that mom has right now is looking after a single 1-year-old during the day. Yet apparently my so finds reasons to be uncivil with me, and sometimes my daughter, every single day. In-laws are staying until the end of August, but now she tells me they're planning on coming back every 6 months to collect their old age supplements. Tonight, right before bed it was, "What time are we having the food for the birthday party?" Noon? I asked what she'd like, and she said, "I don't care, whatever you want." Okay, we all know that's a non-starter. I refused to engage so she's currently just turned away from me in bed sighing with the weight of the world as I write this, probably angry that I'm denying her an argument. We had a rare past weekend alone from the in-laws due to a major traffic jam that prevented us getting home. Although accommodations were expensive, it was great to be away, and everything almost felt normal again. Until today when we're back with the in-laws again. It took 2 days for the anger to come back. I've offered to take both kids off her hands so she can go and hit the spa, go out with friends, or just take an evening off, but she's never interested. She tried to do a work event a couple of weekends ago. For me, weekends are strictly family time. I never book stuff that would interfere. So I tried to take the kids for a bit, but the kids got sick, and it was a mild shit show. She's expressed interest in quitting her $100,000 per year IT job to start a convenience store, with no medical plan for the kids, no retirement plan, crazy long hours, and stupid low pay because her brother is interested. I make equivalent money, but I can't support an entire family on my paycheck. Maybe she's really resentful of them but is so indoctrinated that she's unable to deal with them being the issue, so she's projecting on me instead? But still almost 2 months to go before they leave and I'm wearing thin. If it's not just in-law issues, I suspect postpartum depression, but I'm sure she won't get any counseling for it even though we both get it free from work. TLDR. Wife has every reason to be angry with me, yet none at all? Now on to the next story. Posted by you, King of Arachnid. My husband and I are on a verge of divorce because I'm pregnant. We, F40, M49, have been married for 12 years. We are both child-free and it's one of the things we've bonded over. Now I'm pregnant. I'm not religious or anything but I'm 40, he's had vasectomy and here I am. Like a miracle. I want to keep it but I'm so scared. He made it clear we are too old to be parents and we hate children and that if I want to keep it then it's divorce. I do hate children but not this child. I want help from single parents. Brutal and honest opinion based on your experience. Is it worth it? Are these just my hormones being crazy making me emotional or is this real love? I love my husband so very much but it's kinda faded away compared with the emotions I'm having with my belly. Please help? Update. Thanks everyone for the enormous support, especially the single parents who reached out with both positive and negative experiences. I appreciate you so much. Many of you said that my marriage is already doomed because if I terminate there's a big chance that I will resent my husband for it. I have been thinking about this a lot. I love my husband and even when we are separating, I don't want it to be because of resentment. I'm so sorry for everything that's happened but I can't control my feelings. I hope he will forgive me and that my child will forgive me. Now on to the next story. Posted by you, Throw RA 14248. Recently found out that my 23F boyfriend's 25M mom gets notifications on her phone when he leaves to go anywhere or comes back home. This makes me uncomfortable and IDK how to address it, or if I should. So, my boyfriend and I, 23F, have been dating for a year and a half and live together. His family uses Life 360, which I didn't have an issue with because safety and all that. My family doesn't use that or any sort of location tracking, but that's just how we are. I've noticed on occasion we'll go out during the weekends and his mom will call us only a few minutes after we've left and ask what we're up to and where we're going. They have a pretty close relationship, and she is pretty involved in his life, but it doesn't really bother me. But I recently learned that she gets a notification on her phone whenever he leaves to go anywhere or comes back home. Today he left work late because he was going to a dinner with his coworkers and while we were on the phone his mom called him asking him why he left work late. IDK, but this feels weird to me. Am I overthinking it? Aside from him going to work whenever he leaves, he's with me so she indirectly knows when I leave and comes back. I just sort of feel like now that he's 25 and living on his own, with me, his mom shouldn't be concerned with his whereabouts all the time. How should I address this? Should I address it all? Or just deal with it? Thanks. TLDR boyfriends, 25M. Mom gets notifications on her phone when my BF leaves our apartment or leaves work and sometimes calls him to ask about where he's going, and it makes me not uncomfortable. Not sure if I should address this or not.